Hey, welcome back to the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit Seattle. And if you've been following over the last day and a half, we've been having some interviews with different companies that are attending the event here. And it's actually been really insightful to me because I've really had an opportunity to learn and to meet some really great people during that process. And I have another interview that we're going to do here with a company called TLG Aerospace. And so I'm just going to kick this off right now. And we're going to start off by saying, can you just tell everybody watching who you are and what do you do?
Great. Thank you. I'm Steve Nelson. I'm Director of Program Management for TLG.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah.
And can you do the same for us, please?
Yes, I'm Shayna Prado-Nickel. I'm Program Manager also at TLG.
Excellent. Very good. Well, listen, we're going to take a minute and we're going to dig into a little bit about this particular company, TLG Aerospace, and what they provide into the industry. And then we're going to have a little bit of a conversation on why they would elect to come to an event like this, why it makes sense for maybe you to consider coming to an event like this. So I hope that you learned something about the company and the advantages of participating in something like this. So listen, Steve, let's just start out by saying, can you tell us just what TLG Aerospace does in a little bit more detail, please?
Sure. TLG Aerospace is an engineering services company here based in Seattle, right down on Lake Union, about 3 miles away from where we are right now.
Good. Up in the Pacific Northwest here. Good.
Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful up here. What we do is we provide really critical engineering services for brand new aircraft development programs and major modifications, such as taking a passenger aircraft to a freighter configuration.
Okay.
And we're involved in all stages of development of loads and dynamics and stress and design for all of those kinds of projects.
Okay. Are you at liberty to say who your customers are, or is that confidential information?
I think it's tremendously confidential. For a great example, for instance, is Aviation.
Oh, okay.
They're already up here in the Northwest, and they are developing a brilliant 9-seat electric aircraft.
Yeah, we actually interviewed them at 11 o'clock this morning, and it was very interesting. Carrie O'Sullivan, and we had a good conversation about the aircraft and what they're doing. Now, if I were to take that one, the reason I wanted to drill it down a little bit is I wanted people to understand kind of what you do. If we look at that and the services that you provide to Aviation, what are you doing for them, for example?
Well, we're helping them on a wide variety of different subjects, from aerodynamics to stability and control and structural loads and dynamics of the airplane.
Okay.
And it's a brilliant airplane, I think a great mission, and it's going to be terrific for our environment as well.
That's great. So I asked you this a little bit earlier when we talked about what does it really mean when you're providing engineering services? And so you're actually doing the detailed engineering analysis. I understand that. Right. And do you actually produce, drawings and things as well? Or what are you actually producing? What's the output of the product?
Sure. There's a number of things along the development of a brand new aircraft that we contribute to, whether it's the initial outside mold shape of the aircraft, or it's the structural loads that eventually designers and stress analysis will design the individual components. And so we provide all of that. And we are also in the business of design and stress analysis of the individual components on the airplane.
Very good. All right. And now you also said you did modifications, but I'm going to come to that in a second. But I wanted to maybe have a chat with you about, you said you were in program management, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know that the delivery of something when we need it is really important. So just explain to us, what it is if you're in project management in the company.
Well, it really depends on each project, right? But I think from the very beginning, where there's a statement of work developed, even at that point, there's already program management sometimes needs to help the customer exactly define what it is that they need and how it is that we're going to be able to help them deliver that, get to that goal, that end goal. From there, we start building up a schedule and we check in with our engineers in several different areas. We have aerodynamics, we have aeroelasticity, we have even the DERs that we're working with in-house. And we line out a schedule, something that we know that we can deliver on time and in quality. And I work with engineering managers to assure that. And then from there, we move towards the program. We go through the different gates. We work with the customers as the program is evolving. There's, every program will always go back and forth.
Right.
And finally, at the end of the day, they will end up with the package that we agreed on. A lot of times they'll need some more information afterwards, or we'll give more support afterwards. And we, the program management is able to ensure that quality for repeating customers.
Yeah,
and
you know,
being able
I
to
understand
come
the
back.
importance of that. I mean, it's really, really important. I mean, you know, you may not understand it, but you said a couple of things that I think are really important. The one is a lot of times people don't know what they need or where to start. And you know, and I see a person in your kind of role, you know, sort of being the starter. You put something out there and say, here's the kind of schedule we're looking at, or here's how long it might take for us to deliver our engineering services. And so helping people, you know, to be able to get to that place. But then also is that if you can provide great engineering services, if you can't deliver it on time, you know, it doesn't even matter, you know, because you're going to affect a program and maybe the length of the program. And so I can really see how that's a really important aspect, you know, of a company. So from your standpoint, you know, wanting to be able to provide those quality services to your customer, how important is that schedule management?
Oh, it's vital. I mean, we are supporters of their larger development program. And
Yeah.
so being able to hit projects on time and on schedule are vital. And, you know, our biggest measure, our most important measure is how many repeat projects do they bring back to us.
Very good.
And that is, we've had tremendous success in that regard.
Very good. Now, you also said that you're into aircraft modifications as well. Can you tell me an idea of the type of things that you might do for aircraft mods?
Yeah, absolutely. Freighter aircraft are extremely important in today's marketplace.
Yeah, exactly.
And
there aren't any of them out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So taking a passenger aircraft that might be towards the end of its service life and converting it over to a freighter aircraft is vital. And we service a number of companies that are doing that today.
Good. And I know that engineering analysis is important on that because you have, you know, airframe and structure issues depending upon how old the aircraft or how many cycles are on it. You know, actually the engineering component of that becomes a very important aspect of the engineering.
And the aircraft really needs to be recertified to that configuration.
Right.
And so that's something that we're involved in.
Now, do you have DERs?
Yes, we have 5 different DERs, designated engineering representatives, representing the FAA, and they're all on staff.
And you know, for people that may not know what that is that that's somebody who's been who's in a company who's been established the authority to be able to make decisions, you know, for the FAA, and and they have to be qualified to be able to do that. And so to have 5, you know, DERs on staff, that's really very significant because I understand that they're reducing the number of DERs and DARs that they actually have out there.
We have great relationship with the FAA. They come to us on any number of different topics.
Okay, good. Hey, let's go to the second half of this. I just wanted to understand, why would you come to an event like the, you know, Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit Seattle? Why would you come here to an event like this?
You know, for us, this is a gathering of not only Pacific Northwest companies that we already have relationships with, but a wide variety of different industry, government industry, as well as companies from around the world. And so it's a premium opportunity for us to meet new people, visit with existing customers, and tell them a little bit about our growth that we and expanded opportunities that we have to offer them.
You know, I'm not sure if I said this in the previous interviews that we've done, but you know, BCI Aerospace, who's the organizer of this event, they actually pre-screen people in here. Just not anybody can come in here. You have to have an established history to be able, you know, to come here, and so clearly, you know, they've established you as a company which is capable of delivering to OEMs and manufacturers. And then the event has buyers and purchasers here from different OEMs, and they create opportunities for you to be able to connect. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: is that if there's somebody out there watching today who'd like to be in your position, they'd like to be in a situation where they were delivering engineering services, you know, to OEMs, what advice could you give them to say this is the kind of thing you need to do in order to be able to be successful long term?
Oh, I think it absolutely begins with a proven track record of experience, maybe as engineers within larger organizations, the OEMs or something like that. What we have developed is an assembly of really, really talented engineers in their respective disciplines that really do outstanding work. And it's really exciting for us as program managers to talk about their capabilities because any kind of project that we might take on, they are knocking it out of the park. They do fantastic work, and we have a great reputation with all of our customers.
Good, great.
Yeah, absolutely. Team is going to be one of the strongest parts of being successful in this is knowing who you're working with and being able to trust them and they can trust you. And I think that's definitely part of the success.
That's absolutely true.
That's great. Hey, listen, I want to thank you with TLG Aerospace for joining us in this interview.
Absolutely.
And I hope those of you watching have learned a little bit about TLG Aerospace. Let me ask you this: is if somebody wanted to reach out to you and maybe have a further conversation, or maybe talk about your services, how can they get in touch with you?
Probably the easiest is right through our website,
Okay.
tlgaerospace.com, and
Okay.
From there you can plug into any number of us.
Okay, great. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. And so tell them your name and how they would reach you on LinkedIn. Then.
Oh, sure. Steve.Nelson.
Steve Nelson.
Steve Nelson and or TLG Aerospace. Either way.
Okay, great. Well, good. Well, listen, thank you so much, the two of you, for having this conversation with me. I think people are interested in knowing, more about how, who the companies are that are attending this event and why they would attend the event. And I'm also hoping that people had an opportunity to learn a little bit about TLG Aerospace and why they should reach out to you. Thanks for joining in this conversation today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great.
All right.
So thanks, everybody, and have a great day, and we'll see you on the next interview.